What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for C Limited with the ticker symbol SE. I will first be going over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So I just wanted to provide an update for C Limited. Last time I looked at C Limited was last week, Wednesday on August 16th, and that was right when this green bar formed. The expectation was for price to continue to trend up higher because it looked like it was going to be a failed breakout of this $40 level. But that did not occur, and we also were super extended from the EMA after that big earnings gap down. So price was trying to, reverse higher like I drew right over here, but that didn't occur, so we can go and erase it. So the next situation that would have occurred is price continuing lower towards these measure move targets. So these measure move targets are magnets for price, and a lot of times they do get reached. Not all the time, but a lot of times they do. So it looks like C Limited is targeting the $34 level. We're practically almost there, so anytime now, maybe we find some type of support, and then price can finally get that big reversal that's expected. Because a lot of times, the measure move targets act as support and resistance. It's not a strong support and resistance, but a lot of times we do find price reversing off of these levels. So this is going to be a large measure move down too, because you see that we had one big arrow down right over here, back from August 2022 to November 2022. So there's a good chance that if price pulls back and it cannot make a higher high, then that's where the second leg can stem from, and it's targeting, right, like as before, the mid 30s, and we're practically almost there. So this basically today is probably going to reach the 36.27 level. Looks like we came very close to it, and then there's a smaller target at the 34.46. So right around here, this circle right at the bottom of the price action is the target for C Limited. Maybe then we find a rally or some type of support. This is just a good chance of that occurring because we're definitely overextended from the EMA. We reached the measure move targets, so there's a higher probability for price to continue higher from here than continue trend down lower. But again, it's not guaranteed. It's not really a trade. You have to wait for confirmation, but this is what's expected to occur once we reach a measure move target and we're this overextended from the EMA. So that's what I'm expecting C Limit to do, something like this. Maybe not as sharp. It could be, something like this, maybe back up to fill in the gap that was created and retest the $56 level, so that can also occur. But that's how I'm looking at C Limited. Basically, is going lower instead of going up higher because the bears are really strong. There's clearly still a strong bearish imbalance in play. So the measure move targets were not reached before, but now it looks like they still wanted to reach it instead of pulling back. But after the targets are reached, there's not a lot of incentive left for the bears to continue dropping down price. They can still do it. I'm not saying this is going to be a bottom. I'm saying this is a potential area to see a big bounce up, because we had two large legs down and we're overextended for the EMA. A lot of times price will snap back to the EMA, especially after two legs down. So this is a potential area to see a bounce from. So we don't know for sure. Like I said before, it's not really a trade. You have to wait for confirmation, but that's what's expected to occur. Now let's take a look at the weekly chart. So here's the weekly chart. Overall, C Limited, crashed down from the, almost the $400 level, the 370s. It was in this downtrend, and then after the downtrend we saw a break of the channel and then two legs down. So this is one leg down right over here, and then we just saw the second leg down recently this year. So basically, after a downtrend gets a break and two legs down, normally you see a bottom on the chart, especially when we're at previous support. So this is probably a bottoming area. I don't want to say it's 100% a bottom, because obviously you can't be 100% until you see confirmation, but this is a potential area for a bottom and probably the best area for price to reverse off of. So me personally, if I was holding C Limited shares, and I do have some long-term C Limited shares, but once I see this price structure, I'll be like, okay, this is probably the worst time to sell, because we already had a downtrend and a break and two legs down. So this is normally the area right here you see price, at least flatten out or even reverse from. So there's a good chance that C Limited could be, forming some type of uptrend in maybe later this year and maybe next year. Again, it's not guaranteed. Obviously, we can still drop doon lower. All I'm saying is that this is a potential area for a bottom. We just have to wait for confirmation to, confirm that. But this is a good area for that. As of right now, it's still short-term bearish until the measure move targets are reached, which is fairly soon. And then let's see what type of reaction we get off of these levels. And and then we can go from there. So that's all I have for C Limited. I don't see it coming back down to the all-time lows like the $10, $11 level. I don't see that right now. I got to go off of the technicals, and there really isn't a technical target telling me. I mean, obviously there's support there, but the measure move targets are highly accurate, and a lot of times I use those to find targets. So after the downtrend gets a break, and we're practically at the end of the second measure move, normally this is a good area for a potential reversal, or at least a short-term bounce. So let's see if that occurs. So that's all I have for C Limited on the daily and weekly charts. Obviously it's short-term bearish, but the macro structure is kind of flipping from being bearish to neutral. So maybe it might, once we see this start forming some uptrend, then we can look for higher price targets. But that's all I have for C Limited. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time. The Vee Trades technical analysis course is now live. Learn to read the chart the right way to prevent costly mistakes. Click the link below to start training now.